How's it going, everybody? Welcome back again, guys. I got another video for you guys. It's titled 100% Uncut Kiely Rodni Roadside Assistance Full Interview. So this was actually looked at, and actually, I don't believe Nick. I don't believe he actually seen Kiely Rodni. If he had seen Kiely Rodni, he should have called the cops, especially whenever she asked him how to put his seatbelt through the belt loop, guys. For somebody that's a AAA driver, that would be a red flag. And then he goes on to say how they was acting the two. Was there really two? Was it really Kiely Rodni? Because then he goes on to say that he doesn't know didn't even really know what Kiely Rodni looked like until he seen the flyer. Then he knew that was her. So there's a whole lot of speculations going on about this video. Was it fabricated? Was it faked for actually AWP to get more views, guys? That is the question, and we're here to actually bring you this uncut video. We're actually going to talk to it, react on it, and afterwards we'll talk a little bit about it, guys. But let's pay attention to the video and what Nick has to say, because it's just not right. Anyways, let's jump right to the video.
Got out of Best Buy after picking up some supplies here in Reno, Nevada. We're on our way to work the Kiely Rodni case just down the street in Truckee, California. And Nick, a longtime supporter, fan of ours, appreciate you for coming up to us, possibly has some information in regards to the Kiely Rodni case. So why don't you explain a little bit about what you may have run into?
So my name is Nick. I work at an emergency roadside assistance program. I got a call up in Truckee, Boca, for a battery call. So pretty much that means that the vehicle can't start. So I went en route up there, found the vehicle. At the time, I didn't realize that this was a situation until later on. But
yeah, let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
You said you went to Boca.
Yes, sir.
So over near Boca Lake.
Yes, sir.
So not Prosser Lake, Prosser Creek Lake.
It's right by Crosser Creek.
Yeah, so just north. So you went to Boca.
Yes, sir.
And you said you responded to a vehicle, and you in hindsight realized it may have been this vehicle. What kind of vehicle was it that you responded to?
It was a gray, like a lightish gray Honda 4-door sedan.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Or SUV, I'm sorry.
SUV?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And go ahead and describe what happened.
When I first go there, I usually do tests on the vehicle to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
At first, when I went there, I realized after my test that everything was working great on the vehicle. Come to find out later, once I approached the vehicle and went inside, that the vehicle was in neutral. At the time, I thought that was kind of awkward that you can find out or realize that something like that could have been the case for why the vehicle wasn't starting. So I simply put it into park, started up the vehicle, everything was fine. At that point in time, I did notice that the female, which is Kiely, I realized after, she was very hesitant and very skeptical on everything that was going on. She was asking me really weird questions, like in the sense of, how do you put on your seatbelt correctly? And okay, and she asked me to show her on how to connect it to her actual belt. Okay, that in my eyes, that was very awkward.
So guys, look, at this point, we have Nick saying, basically telling us what he knows, and he 100% really believes that he's seen Kiely Rodni. So did he see Kiely Rodni? Guys, we don't really even know, because we have no footage of anything of this party, of the tow truck. The tow truck supposedly, or the AAA driver supposedly had videos facing front and back. We have no videos of that, guys. So what is he actually talking about here? This actually points more towards a fabricated video of somebody just coming forward. He even said that he was a fan. That's how they introduced Nick. So now he actually admits that Kiely Rodni, quote unquote, said that asking him how to put his seatbelt through the belt loop. So shouldn't we have called the cops at that point? Nick should have actually said, hold on, this is uncomfortable. Called the cops and said, hey, we have actually an uncomfortable teenager out here that absolutely needs help, even whether she was drinking or not. That could have been the difference between life and death, guys. Anyways, let's get right back to the video.
Deal with things that are kind of awkward. So I was like, all right, it's just another day on the job.
Yeah.
After that, she was stating on how she was there all night and she couldn't get her vehicle started due to the fact that now we both realized it was in neutral. She was wearing a sweatshirt, so it looked like she has been there for quite a while.
What color was the sweatshirt?
It was a gray sweatshirt.
Gray sweatshirt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, she had a guy with her.
Was it dark gray or light gray?
It was light gray.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, there was a guy there that was with her at time being. He was wearing a flat top ball cap facing forwards. brown hair that's sticking out just a little bit on the sides. I didn't know. I assumed that this is her boyfriend. I mean, from how they're interacting with each other. But it was kind of like they were both kind of at unease, is what it looked like for me. Like as if either they had a crazy night or a crazy day, or there's something going on I couldn't know. And at the time, I didn't realize what.
Well, as an adult and as a AAA driver, you get paid to actually come out and assist people's assist people's cars because they actually pay extra to have that AAA service, right? Shouldn't you ask more questions? And if you've seen that they was that uncomfortable, shouldn't you have called the police and said, hey, I got actually 2 suspects down here. I got a call to fix the battery. The vehicle was in neutral. They didn't know it. The girl's asking me to put her seatbelt through her pants loop and connect it. Shouldn't that's what happened? That's what absolutely should have happened at this point. Anyways, guys, let's jump right back to the video.
What was going on?
So let me stop you right there again. In hindsight, you're realizing all of this. When do you think that this took place? Was it before, during the day, after she disappeared?
To be honest with you, it's either right after she disappeared or right before she disappeared. Okay. But it was around noonish, like 11 o'clock in the morning when I got out to her. Okay. And at that point in time, once we finished everything, she did advise that she was going to be going home later in the day and that she needed to grab some things and she was going to be heading out. So I advised her that, hey, keep your vehicle running and, you know, you can get home. But during that period of time, after the period, I told her that I was going to leave and I hope you have a great day. Vehicle, I told her to keep it running for a couple of hours to obviously make sure everything is working good on the vehicle, charging system-wise. At that point in time, then I left, and then a week later is when I saw at a coffee shop that she was gone, and then that brought some.
You saw this on a flyer or something?
Yeah, wow, I came in with my girlfriend. We went into a coffee shop, and it was a flyer, and I was just in awe. You know, I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me for a little bit because I'm like, that's the girl that I was working with. Granted, the pictures I saw, she wasn't wearing a ball cap. With me, she was wearing a ball cap, and it was a blue ball cap. I'm sorry about that. But then everything spiraled out of control and I got in contact with the detective and tried to do everything I could. And and then I saw you guys. I was like, all right, this is awesome. Like, let me go and try to catch up to you.
Thanks for the intel. That's how everything that we do unfolds organically when we get into town, from our viewers, locals who understand what we're doing. They contribute to what we're doing.
So I got a question here. Is it just me or does Nick seem like he's actually a fan and he's just fabricating a story that absolutely does not make any sense? It just doesn't. Because if he was actually there, guys, he would 100% say it was Kiely, which he has. But then he goes on, he don't even know which day he was there. He doesn't know what time he was there. He gives like a 12-hour difference in times. He said he was at Polka. He said he was at Truckee Reservoir. He said that Kiely Rodni was asking him how to put a seatbelt through her belt loop. He doesn't even know who this guy is. He 100% describes Jagger. Jagger was supposedly 3 hours away. The cops didn't even want AWP to come do this stuff. And when the cops told AWP that reservoir was cleared and they checked it and found Kiely Rodni's car, quote unquote, that proved the cops wrong. So what is the cops at this point? AWP comes in and finds Kiely Rodni's car. After all the search team, all the money, they done dove around that reservoir, called it clear, told AWP not to go, and then they find her car in the reservoir that the police called clear. Something's not right, guys. Anyways, let's continue with the video.
Doing from all different angles. Like this is massive. You know, whether this was the day before, the day of, or the day after, this is a massive revelation into possibly leading us into the right direction of possibly finding her. Now we know we probably have a tie to Boca, you know, which was already on my radar. Do you know who placed the call to your roadside company? Was it her or the boyfriend or?
So I can't get details. Calls don't go through me. They go through.
Yeah, you just get digitally dispatched, so you don't have.
Yes, sir.
So when you were digitally dispatched, did you call them to say you were coming, or you just showed up?
I did call and nothing went through. It went straight to voicemail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know if she had a phone on her at the time?
She did state that her phone was dead.
Her phone
and
was
so
dead.
she used whatever guy, whoever this was, if it was her boyfriend, she used his phone. So that's how she did get in contact.
And what was you mentioned?
So if she used another guy's phone, where's the phone? Who is this guy's phone that she used to call from? Wouldn't the mom have the number at this time of whose phone the guy called from? Because she tried to call her mother. So the mother should have this guy's number. Right? So everything Nick is saying is not adding up, just like the Kiely Rodni case. If you use somebody else's phone to call your mom, you would have that person's phone number on your phone that you used to call your mom. Unless they star 69'd it, or they had actually like a throwaway number that they used to call. But why would Kiely Rodni use one of those to call her mom? Unless the guy was saying, here's my phone, but I'm actually going to block my number. But wouldn't the mom say that she got a phone call from a blocked number that night? You see, these are the things that we don't think about until we look back on stuff. And that's what we're figuring out now. 100%, I believe this was fabricated. Kiely Rodni's murder, I'm going to call it murder because it is absolutely not, well, it's not an accident. Anyways, let's continue with the video.
Mentioned like she was asking funny questions and acting weird.
So, like, the most funny question, the one that stood out that I remember is about the seatbelt. I've never about how to buckle a seatbelt.
It's odd.
So, in granted, I at the time I didn't realize again that.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in the towing industry my whole life, so you see a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of weird stuff, and it's actually pretty normal.
Yeah.
You know, so I can see why at the time it's just.
But she kept on going over that. Like, how do you like, you know, secure your seatbelt firmly and like do it correctly? And that's when
she was asking this. Was the guy that she was with right there too?
He was on the opposite side of the car.
So he could hear the conversation as well?
Yes, sir, yeah. And I did notice, and this is also something that I stated to the detective, that every single time the guy would come over to us, she would go on to the other side, and it was just like a back and forth, like a tag team. Better to say, like one person would come over, she wouldn't stay near him, and then it would go vice versa.
So you go on and you say to us. Are you talking about you and the girl that you're talking about? Supposedly, you said you seen Kiely Rodni. So let's go ahead and say you and Kiely Rodni. Is that what you're referring to us? That when the guy came over to us, they would switch sides? Or was there actually two people on the 888? That's another thing. And that was never specified. That was never cleared. Anyways, guys, let's jump right back to the video.
We were at the front of the car going about the battery and talking about the battery. He was always on one side, she was on another. They were never close to each other.
It's really odd behavior, it seems like to me.
Unless she didn't like who she was with, or she was uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That screams awkwardness. Someone being uncomfortable, and when in that scenario, if he was there with her, he should have been right next to her. If not, dealing with you the entire time, and
exactly.
not her.
He didn't really speak that much, to be honest.
Did she seem high or intoxicated or?
I try not to judge people at that point, so I try not to, like, you know.
Possibly.
I thought that maybe she was either hungover or just had a really rough day. She looked distressed, is what I could best describe as if you're going through a lot. So I understand, you know, some people go through things, but now looking back at it, now it raises suspicion to me, and I know the detective on, okay, what is actually going on, what did happen that day, and what was the reason for her being gone. So I think that's pretty relevant. That's why I try to chase you guys down as soon as I saw you.
Can you show me on the map where you saw her?
Absolutely.
I'm going to bring Google up here.
Really quick, just get to a meeting.
Sure is. Yep.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, so we're here in Reno. Let's go down to Truckee. There's
Boca?
there's Prosser, there's Boca.
Yep. Okay.
Just drop a pin on the road exactly where you saw her.
Oh, hold on. Is that it? Hold on. No, this is a campground.
And guys, he did go on to actually have proof of his GPS. Squirrel Girl, I do believe who it was, had actually GPS coordinates. I do believe Realy actually had it too. Guys, so there was GPS proof of where he was at. But guys, can we even believe this at that point? I mean, look at everything else in this situation. In this horrific crime that happened to this 16-year-old girl that they said was actually an accident when her car just drives into the reservoir and a fire cam catches it from 2 miles away, and then they find her car. AWP comes in, finds her car. When the cops call, the whole thing cleared. Can we believe all that stuff? I don't believe a word of it. Anyways, guys, let's jump right back to the video.
No, that's not a campground. I'm sorry, I haven't looked from it.
Oh, no worries. Take your time. I know there's a campground on the other side.
No, it was on the right-hand side.
On the right side?
Yeah.
So that's going to be the northeast side of, there it is.
It's a turnout. Your buddy has it on his phone now. We're at the right place, right? Boca, you come in, you follow this road down. Is that the turnout? No, that's not the turnout. I think that is the turnout right there. I have to verify. I had it pinpointed on his. That doesn't look familiar. Your buddy.
Okay.
Put it down.
All right. You know, this is great information
Absolutely.
that could lead us. You know, Boca was on my radar already as one of our very next locations, and if you're talking about running into her the next day, she doesn't have a phone. She's at another campground.
And I do believe Boca is actually where the cops wanted AWP to go in the first place. But AWP come over to this reservoir to actually look after the cops called the reservoir clear. It wasn't even supposed to come over there. But AWP come over and actually found Kiely Rodni's car. So this Boca ordeal, there was rumors of her phone actually being thrown in Boca. Whether that's true or not, we'll never know that neither, because there's some people says they found their phone, but I have not heard that they found her phone. I still heard that her phone is missing, guys. Anyways, let's jump right back to the video.
Her phone is dead. She's with somebody that's
distressed, possibly.
Yeah. Something's wrong, especially with how to use a seatbelt.
Yeah.
That's extremely alarming. Was that a distress call, or was she just out of it because she had been drinking all night? She was at a party.
Yep.
All night long. We know we know due to accounts of other people who were at the party who said that she was highly intoxicated. So if this was the next day, she's going to appear to be hungover and so forth. So I don't know. There's a lot of things you can draw from that, but it's great information. And thank you for coming up to us. Thank you for watching everything we do.
And thank you.
Supporting everything we do. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be in this position. Just simply watching what we do makes us able to do everything that we do.
Yes, sir.
I got some questions. Based on just everything you just said and your experiences there, what is your outcome? What do you think went on?
I think something was going on between her and whoever the male was that she was with, is from what I saw, just due to her character and how she was holding herself and the questions that she was asking. So I think something happened to her more than something accidental.
Based on how her car was positioned, which way do you think she would have naturally started driving?
Going out the road.
Towards town?
Yeah. to the road that leads you up to the highway. Yeah.
Any questions? No, I'm good.
Okay.
We're good.
Can you, we're not videotaping. Can you show him? I can zoom in and find the right part. I got the, because I got the precise right part on his. I don't want to show you that.
Here, just talk about it again. I'll turn the recording on.
You have it pinpointed?
Because that's crucial.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, it was farther back. I wasn't even going that far back on your phone. There you go. So if you zoom in right here, so her car was right there, facing diagonal down, and I pulled in my van right here.
Okay.
When she came in, but she was trying to come out this road where her car was. So it's kind of weird that it was in the middle of the road, and on top of that, like, it wasn't starting because it was in neutral. So obviously she had to stop for some reason. And
if she didn't know that, she knew that her car was in neutral, but she was actually, she wasn't even hardly intoxicated, guys. She was legally drunk, not enough not to drive, guys, but no more than that. So, and she had barely any marijuana in her system. This was not the first time she's been at this reservoir. Who is this guy that we're talking about that Nick, the AAA driver, is seeing? Does this guy have anything to do with actually how her vehicle ended up in the reservoir? I 100% do believe so. Guys, there wasn't another body inside the car. So that goes to tell me that where did this guy go? Did this guy just leave her alone? Kiely Rodni alone? Was this even Kiely Rodni that Nick, the tow truck driver, is seeing? I don't believe so. And if it was, Nick is 100% being fabricated in this video to say what they want him to say to make the video better. And if that's the case, why did AWP come into the reservoir and find Kiely Rodni's car within 30 minutes whenever the cops paid how much money to have searches going on? If they search how many days and they call that reservoir clear, and AWP comes in and finds the car within 30 minutes. Not right, guys. It just is not right. Anyways, I'm going to end the video here, but first, love yourself, like yourself, be nothing but yourself. Like, subscribe to the channel, it's highly appreciated. And it's free, guys. Hit that like button. It helps get the video into their algorithm, guys. But hey, your boy Deuces, I'm out. Thank you guys. Have a good one.